Eat nuggets? Not today. Now, taste the holiday cheer of all-white meat KFC popcorn chicken.
KFC popcorn chicken. Get an individual size for only $1.99 or a party size for only $6.99.
You know, that's better than fruitcake.
Now at KFC, get the Colonel's awesome 10-piece holiday bucket, just $8.99. That's right, just $8.99 for 10 pieces of delicious original recipe chicken. Let the Colonel do the cooking during the holidays. Get a holiday bucket from KFC.
There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
It's official. Ford is extending 0% financing for a limited time. Ford drives America. And right now, we're leading the way with America's best sellers at America's best values. 0% on select Ford trucks, including Ford Explorer, Ford Expedition, Ford Excursion, and the #1 selling truck of the world, Ford F-Series. 0% means you pay no interest, and that will save you thousands. Act now. Ford drives America. Visit your Tri-State Quality Ford store.
Was I? Should I pull over? Why am I feeling so guilty? I didn't stop at that stop sign. Wait, there was no stop sign. That parking ticket. Wait, I paid that.
Great car.
Oh, phew. Now what?
Really great car.
The only way for exciting to drive, hard not to notice.
For the brightest lights in town, that's where the special times are found.
Oh, I like it, Red.
Now at Blockbuster, when you buy 2 previously viewed DVD or VHS movies, you'll get another one absolutely free. Choose from great titles on sale like Shrek, The Mummy Returns, Hannibal, and more. Buy 2, get 1 free. Only at Blockbuster.
They were heroes long before 9/11. Meet the men of Rescue 1, the squad firefighters call when they're in trouble. 48 hours, Friday.
Terrorists stormed the Indian Parliament building, killing 7 people and injuring 18 others in a bloody battle. A suicide bomber and grenades set off explosions during the 90-minute attack. The gunman drove through the secured gates in a white ambassador's car with official stickers. Now, no government leaders were hurt. 5 of the gunmen were killed. You can hear the gunshots there. No one has claimed responsibility for the attack, but officials say they were warned about someone from Osama bin Laden's al-Qaeda network planning to strike.
The CBS Evening News with Dan Rather is less than an hour away, and Dan joins us now with more on the bin Laden videotape. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Cindy. Well, tonight, as you've been reporting, the Pentagon released a videotape of bin Laden that would seem to remove any doubt that he did, in fact, mastermind the attack on America. We'll have complete details and analysis of the tape, including reaction from here and abroad. Also tonight, New York City's economy was another casualty of September 11th, but it may surprise you to learn which state had the second largest jump in unemployment after the attacks. So we'll take you there in tonight's Eye on America. And Cindy, we'll have all that and a lot more coming up on the CBS Evening News.
All right, we'll see you at 6:30. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Cindy.
Well, it is official. The United States is withdrawing from the anti-ballistic missile treaty. President Bush made the historic move today, breaking the 1972 agreement with Russia. In 6 months, silos will be built and there will be a testing command center in Alaska. Bush says the ABM treaty hinders America's ability to develop protection from rogue state missile and terror attacks. Russian President Vladimir Putin says backing out is a mistake.
The chilling conversations on the bin Laden videotape. Up next, we'll show you part of the conversation and get in-depth analysis from a Middle Eastern expert.
The pain of losing a loved one in the Trade Center attacks may have been too much to bear for one widow. Coming up in our Health Watch, we're going to tell you what warning signs to look out for when dealing with depression.
Hi, this is Dick Clark for Nuvin. Be healthy and energetic. Drink Nuvin.
Something perfect for her. Pure perfection from August Silk. The perfect color from Designer Originals. A little zip from Carolyn Taylor. The newest cable from Wainscot. The perfect sweater. The perfect gift at Macy's.
Just in case you were wondering, New York will be open for the holidays. And the best way to get to it all? MTA, New York City Transit, Long Island Railroad, Long Island Bus, and Metro North Railroad. One system that gets you where you want to go. And with MetroCard, faster, easier, and less expensive. MTA, going your way.
Save up to 80% buying Factory Direct. The Jewelry Factory makes most of their jewelry in their state-of-the-art factory, imports their diamonds direct, and guarantees the lowest price. Compare Tiffany's 1-carat platinum band for $5,800 with the Jewelry Factory's for $1,500. 1-carat hearts are $199, 2-carat bracelets $349, 1-carat studs $399. The Jewelry Factory has a huge selection and guarantees all the jewelry they make to appraise for at least double. Buy Factory Direct, the Jewelry Factory in Hackensack.
You're looking so fine, and I love your design. Save here, save now, Suzuki. Suzuki's December to Remember sales event is on now, with interest-free financing on Suzuki's full line of cars and trucks. Lease a new Suzuki XL7 for just $279 a month, 0 down payment. The world-class XL7 with available third-row seating, only $279 a month, 0 down. Hurry, these special offers end January 2nd. See your nearest Suzuki dealer today. Save here, save now, Suzuki.
Who'd want to live in a place like that? That would be my home.
Come on! And it's okay! You're gonna be fine!
Of course!
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm Ernest Martin, leaping towards the end zone. Touchdown! Oh, can you believe it?
The Jets take on the Bengals Sunday at 1 on CBS 2.
There are many eerie and disturbing references to jihad, martyrdom, and death and dreams in the bin Laden videotape released today by the Pentagon. Understanding the meaning of the tape is more clear when you understand the culture. Joining us now is Professor Richard Bullitt, Professor of Middle Eastern History at Columbia University. Dr. Bullitt, first of all, thanks for being here. This tape, why does this tape even exist? Why was it shot? Why was the conversation recorded?
Todd, I think this is a souvenir tape for the visitor from Saudi Arabia. You look at the shot, he's front and center, he does most of the talking. He's come here, long quest, he sees bin Laden. To tell him what people think in Saudi Arabia, he wants to take back a souvenir, and that's the reason it's left behind.
All right, this tape that you're seeing now, we're showing you part of it here, refers to dreams. Specifically, a dream of a tall building in America and a dream that other people had and other references in the tape to an attack on buildings in America. And in fact, in this excerpt from the tape that you're looking at now, bin Laden says he actually asks the last person to mention a dream like that to stop talking about it. He's afraid that the secret will be out. To many of us, this seems extremely strange. But in fact, in the Middle Eastern culture, it's somewhat different.
Well, in fact, Todd, in our culture, many people do read things into dreams, but it does take on a greater significance in Islamic culture. Someone like the Shah of Iran, for example, talked about how the Ali, the head of the progenitor of the Shiite movement, had appeared to him in dreams. And throughout Islamic history, this has been one way of people believing that you can communicate with the unseen world and that God can communicate with you through dreams. So it really has that overtone here that bin Laden seems to think that maybe there is a divine communication.
So do they believe, apparently do they believe that they can dream and in fact predict what might happen?
I don't think that they can predict it until after it's happened, but I think that they believe in the prophetic character of dreams, or some of them do, but then so do some of us.
This is somehow supposed to validate what they did, obviously, by saying that they dreamed it. Perhaps Allah came to them in a dream and told them that this was going to happen.
It would be more important if someone who appeared in the dream had been a religious figure. The fact that it is symbolic diminishes it a bit.
Let me move on now. There is no mention of the Pentagon and the plane that struck the Pentagon in this videotape. I don't know if that's an omission because it wasn't recorded. Is it possible he never spoke of the Pentagon?
It makes you wonder whether the hit on the Pentagon was not the main target, whether the planes 3 and 4, the Pentagon and the one that crashed in Pennsylvania, were not big triumphs, and therefore they didn't talk about them. The triumph was the World Trade Center. Makes one wonder what those planes were really intended for.
And I think a lot of Americans are struck by the casual, almost jovial nature of the people on this tape. They're talking about American lives being lost, and there doesn't seem to be much value in those lives.
I don't think that that is particularly extraordinary because they're exhilarated. This was one of the greatest military victories of weak people against powerful people in history, and they found it exhilarating. The notion of loss of lives doesn't weigh very heavily in this particular moment.
But obviously, and we see videotape there of bin Laden appearing with a rifle, appearing in a military, powerful way. Yet at the same time, these were civilians who died, but they don't regard civilians in a jihad as anything more than something to be taken care of, to be washed away.
Muslims in general would not countenance the killing of civilians under any circumstances. In the particular interpretation that bin Laden puts upon jihad, he regards all Americans as equal targets, but that is a very unusual and extremist interpretation of Islam.
There are going to be a lot of references made to how long this tape took to surface, how long it took to actually do the translation, to transcribe it onto the videotape. Some people will claim that somehow it's been doctored. Is there anything on this tape that makes you think it might have been faked in any way?
No, in fact, quite the opposite. Particularly when Osama bin Laden reads a poem. I've studied his other videotapes. There is something about his voice, the way he reads the poem. It's his own poem. He recites it without looking at a text. He has certain hand motions. I'm absolutely sure that that is bin Laden who is on the tape.
All right, Dr. Richard Bullitt of Columbia University, thanks for being here today on
Thanks, Todd.
Our news. Cindy?
Todd, thank you. Another body has been found in the ruins of the World Trade Center. Rescue workers pay their respects as the victim's body is placed in the ambulance and taken away. The number of victims still missing is now at 568. Also, a man hit by falling debris when the Twin Towers collapsed has died from his injuries. Dave Bernard passed away in Massachusetts. He was in town on 9/11 for a meeting in the Trade Center. He was hit by debris from the North Tower, leaving him paralyzed. He is survived by a wife and 3 kids. It's going to be a really tough holiday season for so many people directly affected by the attacks. And the suicide this week of a woman who lost her husband in the Trade Center shows us just how much pain some people are in. CBS 2 Health Watch reporter Dr. Mike Rosen takes a look at the warning signs.
There are signs here in New York that since September 11th, healing has begun and is taking hold. But for some, the wounds are so deep, there is no healing. That's what happened with a Pennsylvania woman whose husband died in the World Trade Center on September 11th. The death of Joe Towers had left his wife Pat so distraught that the woman shot herself this past Monday. What happened is not surprising to Dr. Joe Napoli, an Englewood Hospital psychiatrist treating people who lost loved ones on September 11th.
There are people who are still going through a normal grief process.
Such a traumatic event can make the grief last much longer than usual.
It makes the grief much more intense and much more difficult. There are other people who have already begun to develop depression.
A person with a history of depression or anxiety is more likely to develop complications, including post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, in spite of all of this holiday cheer, if you still can't get any pleasure from it, you may be suffering from depression, and you should probably seek professional help, especially if you're also grieving over a loss.
This is the worst time to be alone and not to deal with this. And what can happen with a holiday is that this can be a further remembrance of the loss of that loved one.
Which is why, if a loved one is having trouble with the holidays, and especially if he or she is talking about suicide, take the person to a mental health professional. I'm Dr. Mike Rosen, CBS 2.
The tragedy of the World Trade Center disaster has also brought out the very best in people all across the country. Today, New York City firefighters received some very generous gifts from some very generous strangers. A small pharmaceutical company in Massachusetts donated a brand new fire truck to Ladder Company 107 in East New York, Brooklyn. Owners and employees of Braintree Laboratories collected $1 million in donations to pay for that truck. And the people of Akron, Ohio raised enough money to replace a fire truck, 2 ambulances, and 3 police cruisers. Their gifts were delivered to the firehouse in Woodside, Queens today.
Time now for your no-nonsense weather. Let's check in with meteorologist David Rogers.
Okay, Cindy and Todd, well, you'll need the low beams on tonight, and be careful out there. A lot of dense fog, a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. Afternoon highs for us today, though, got up to 54 degrees. Another day of above normal temperatures. So far low, 45, 0.04 of an inch of precipitation. Officially at Central Park, sunset this afternoon at 4:29. Rises tomorrow morning at 7:12. Here we go for the rest of the night tonight. It's going to be a mild one. Temperatures really remain above normal. Nanuet right now expected a low about 45. New York 49 degrees again. Drizzle and fog, and some of the fog could reduced visibility, so exercise a little caution. Tomorrow, looks like we'll start out with fog and drizzle in the morning. Steadier rains later in the day, 55 in the city. Wilton looking for a high about 59. There's your 5-day forecast. And some of that steady rain is going to linger into early Saturday. Then we'll see clearing sky, 48 your high temperature, a little breezy. Sunday, partly sunny, 49. More rain on Monday, and scattered showers expected on Tuesday with temperatures in the middle 40s. That's your no-nonsense forecast for tonight. Have a great and safe evening. Cindy, Todd, back to you.
David, thank you.
When we come back, we'll introduce you to some local volunteers giving back to our community.
Meet these helpful holiday helpers and find out how you can contribute. Next, this is the CBS 2 Information Network.
New enemies, new threats, changing our world every day, every hour. CBS 2 takes you from the front lines to the home front. For information you need and every story that matters, stay with the CBS 2 Information Network.
I'm just trying to help some people connect. Optimum Online. It's the fastest internet access you can get. And you can try it risk-free for 30 days. You could be on the phone, you could be on the computer, and you have your television on at the same time. Sign up now and save $100 on a cable modem exclusively at The Wiz.
Can we send pictures to Grandma?
You can send pictures to Grandma of him talking. You can actually shoot a video of him, maybe do a little monologue, maybe a little something from Chekhov or something like that. Nothing compares to Optimum Online. Stop by The Wiz today.
You gotta get it from The Wiz.
Everyone has a dream.
The holidays. New Jersey Lottery knows they're a time of joy, a time to give thanks, and a time when you have absolutely no time to shop. So now there's holiday gift packs. 6 instant New Jersey Lottery tickets in a holiday pack with a chance to win up to $20,000. 6 tickets, now just $5. Holiday gift packs wherever New Jersey Lottery tickets are sold. For friends, family, even you.
At 1-800-Flowers.com, nothing makes us feel better than helping you to express yourself with warm holiday gifts like a beautiful bouquet, a candy cane covered tree or wreath of fragrant balsam, a Lennox snowman cookie jar, an eye-catching centerpiece, and fun for the child in all of us. There are gifts that'll keep coming all year long, and treats so delicious, they'll be gone before you know it. Call, click, or come into 1-800-Flowers.com today. And thanks for letting us be a part of your holiday.
Give hope.
Give a contribution.
Give what matters.
New Yorkers are giving the things that matter most this season and all year round. To find out how you can volunteer, contact us at the CBS 2 Information Center.
Well, as you just saw, CBS 2 is urging New Yorkers to give what matters to you this holiday season.
It's our way of recognizing people who are doing their best to make this holiday season a little brighter for those less fortunate. Amy Stone has more on how you can get involved.
It's all about giving back.
And this year, millions of people are digging in and donating not only toys and money, but their time.
You know what they call people like you, Frank? Selfless.
Oh.
Frank Sala organized the Volunteers of America Toy Joy Drive. This group is distributing thousands of toys to the needy.
The volunteers that I work with, once again, they're heroes because they have lives, they have jobs, they have families, and yet they have even more to give.
Give a hug.
CBS 2 recently launched our Give What Matters to You campaign, celebrating the selfless services of tri-state residents who are giving their time and compassion to others, asking the simple question, what makes them do it?
People less fortunate than yourself, and that we have a duty and responsibility to help others around us.
I remember how exciting it was to open up Christmas morning presents like when I was really little, so I can just imagine how psyched they're going to be when they get some of these toys.
A lot more exciting than your everyday work?
Much more fulfilling.
The opportunities to lend a hand are endless, but many organizations hope the holiday generosity will continue year-round.
Our organization works with kids that helps them recreationally, socially, all the time. It's just not a quick fix kind of program. It makes a difference week in, week out.
I read to children, and I also do stuff with the elderly. I'm not saving the world, so at least I can give back to those people that need help or need assistance. And it makes me feel better about who I am.
That you really feel a sense of accomplishment. So to know that there's going to be some ray of light or sunshine in their life for a few moments, if not a couple of days, with these toys, is nice to know, and it makes you feel very good.
The CBS 2 What Matters to You campaign is hoping to encourage, mobilize, and inspire people to volunteer. Just call up our information center here at 1-866-INFO-2. Tell them what you'd like to do, and they will help place you. You never know where you may end up.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas to you, too, and a ho, ho, ho. How was it?
Just call me Santa Stone, CBS 2.
I thought Santa looked familiar there. If you're interested in volunteering your time this holiday season, the CBS 2 Information Center can help you get started.
As Amy said, just give us a call at 866-INFO2, or you can log on to our website at cbsnewyork.com and click on What Matters to You for more information. That wraps up CBS 2 at 5 today. I'm Cindy Hsu in for Angela Ray.
I'm Todd McDermott. Here are Ernie Anastas and Dana Tyler to look at what's coming up next.
And thank you, Todd and Cindy.
Coming up next at 6, we'll have much more on the chilling Osama bin Laden tape.
And then, following the attacks, there was a lot of talk of fare hikes for city strap hangers. We'll tell you what officials decided to do.
And Yankee fans have reason to cheer. We'll have more on the pinstripes. There he is, signing of the top slugger, Jason Giambi, up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to show you the state-of-the-art, brand new visual deterrent, best on the market, the Click It Club. Now, for some of you who have the old-time club and it's served you well, why not upgrade yourself to the Click It Club with reinforced steel and so much easier to apply to the steering wheel, sort of like putting on your seatbelt. That's how easy it is. And for the lady of the house who doesn't want to struggle for minutes, never mind hours, to get on the visual deterrent, the Click It Club is the perfect visual deterrent for the car. It protects the airbag. And in fact, if you're parked near the curb and you turn your wheel, putting the Click It Club on means that they can't even tow your car away. This is the visual deterrent you should have on your steering wheel, the Click It Club. Get it at great stores everywhere.
Call the number on your screen to order the Click It Club or the Truck Club for $59.95 plus shipping and handling.
You kids want some chicken nuggets? A phony Santa giving away mystery meat nuggets? Not today. Now, taste the holiday cheer of all-white meat KFC popcorn chicken.
KFC popcorn chicken. Get an individual size for only $1.99 or a party size for only $6.99.
You know, that's better than fruitcake.
Now at KFC, get the Colonel's awesome 10-piece holiday bucket, just $8.99. That's right, just $8.99 for 10 pieces of delicious original recipe chicken. Let the Colonel do the cooking during the holidays. Get a holiday bucket from KFC.
There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
Now there's a better way to talk to Dad and the rest of your family around the world. Introducing the all-new AT&T Any Hour International Savings Plan. With our new low fees, just $2.95 a month. You'll get great low rates 24/7 to wherever you call for the world's best advice. Call 1-800-523-WORLD to enroll.
It's not just watching a tree light up. It's watching a face light up. It's not just making a table look beautiful. It's making everyone around it feel special. It's not just holiday lights. It's a way to get the attention of 8 tiny reindeer. Every mom knows the difference, and so does one pharmacy. CVS Pharmacy, helping you make a difference.
Happy Hanukkah to your family from all of us at CBS 2.
Osama bin Laden in his own words. Well, the world finally gets a look at the tape U.S. officials say is the smoking gun that proves bin Laden was behind the terror attack.
You're watching CBS 2, home of the CBS 2 Information Network.
Live from the CBS 2 Information Center in New York, this is CBS 2 News at 6.
Good evening. I'm Ernie Anastas.
And I'm Dana Tyler. The tape can best be described as chilling.
And in it, bin Laden hints the massive death and destruction caused in the attack went further than expected.
And while bin Laden is getting all the attention from the media, there are others on the tape of equal interest to the U.S. government. Pablo Guzman joins us now with more on the revelations today. Pablo.
Dana, Ernie, although this tape was recorded November 9th in Kandahar, it was found much later in a house in Jalalabad that had been abandoned. The tape was found at first not by U.S. forces or the CIA, but when whoever got it took a look at what they had, wow. And imagine the reaction of the first CIA or Special Ops agents who first saw what you're about to see. The president himself got a rough transcript November 29th, then saw the tape November 30th. Now, there are other people besides Osama bin Laden on this tape. For example, you may recall this guy who sort of acts like an MC at bin Laden's press conferences, a former school teacher from Kuwait who got his Kuwaiti citizenship stripped for joining al-Qaeda. Well, on the video released today, He's in the room telling a story about how on September 11th, when he saw the news on TV, he went back to another room to tell Osama bin Laden, whom he calls the Sheikh. But bin Laden cuts him off. You see, he already knew. And then bin Laden picks up the story on today's video and reveals how only a few were supposed to know about, quote, the operation. Also in the room, the man considered to be the real brains in al-Qaeda, perhaps the real power behind the figurehead of Osama bin Laden, Dr. Ayman al-Zawahiri, who was also part of the planning behind the attacks, who knew what bin Laden knew. And on the tape, Zawahiri says that the real meaning of September 11th is that for the first time, Americans would feel danger coming at them, would feel what their people have been feeling all along. As for Osama bin Laden himself, some final words from him on this tape. He is telling the group that on September 11th, when he told other guests that the first plane had hit, they cheered. Then listen to what bin Laden says he told them next. Be patient, bin Laden says he told them, because he knew a second plane, and then a third and a fourth were on their way. He knew. He helped plan it.
Pablo, thank you.
Thank you.
Anger and outrage, the most common reactions to the Osama bin Laden tapes. The tape showing a content bin Laden recalling the events of September 11th, saying the destruction went well beyond his estimates. But should the Pentagon have released the emotionally charged tapes? Ghazi Khan, the executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations, and terrorist expert Harvey Kushner debated the issue earlier today on First News at 4.
It will help a lot to know that indeed this man was responsible for it. Because in the past, many people in the Muslim world did not believe that Osama bin Laden was responsible.
Well, there are too many downsides. Quite clearly, it's not going to convince anybody who wasn't convinced before that Osama bin Laden is guilty.
We'll have more on the bin Laden tapes tonight at 11 on Nightcast.
On the military front, U.S. forces pounded Tora Bora often and very hard. CBS 2 reporter John Slattery has the latest now on the heavy bombing. John.
Ernie, it's in the same region that U.S. warplanes have hit for days, one small area within the White Mountains, where it's believed top al-Qaeda leaders and 1,000 troops have taken shelter, but their exact whereabouts is not known. As the bombing of Tora Bora relentlessly continues, top U.S. military officials say they are not trying to exterminate members of al-Qaeda. They say they would welcome a surrender to save time, weapons, and lives.
If they surrender, they may come out alive. If they don't surrender, they may not. And it's kind of their choice. I personally would like to see people surrender. I personally would like to see us get our hands on them and be able to interrogate them and find out about the al-Qaeda networks all across the globe. These people know things.
It's a region that's been pounded for days, yet the U.S. military doesn't know for certain that its prime target, Osama bin Laden, is even there.
We think he's there. We don't know if he's there. We're trying to find him, and when we find him, we will announce it.
You'll remember the Pentagon put a price on the head of bin Laden, $25 million. Well, today, Taliban leader Mullah Omar had millions of dollars placed on his head as well. How many million?
Say 10.
The concern is that in this mountainous region with a largely unpatrolled border with Pakistan, top enemy leaders could get away.
It is a big country with a porous border. These folks have moved back and forth across borders. They have money. They are, in many cases, fanatical and intend to keep fighting.
U.S. Special Forces in Afghanistan are taking on more dangerous duties. Instead of acting just as liaisons with Afghan tribal forces, some military officials say the troops have been given the go-ahead to engage in direct combat and to take possession of senior terrorist leaders if the opportunity arises. Dana?
John, thanks. The first suspect to be charged in the September 11th terrorist attacks was in court today. Zacharias Moussaoui was ordered extradited to Virginia to face conspiracy charges. His brief appearance occurred just blocks from where the World Trade Center once stood. Moussaoui has been called the 20th hijacker in the plot. 4 of the charges against him carry the death penalty.
An IRS employee badly injured in the collapse of the World Trade Center has now lost his 3-month battle to live. Dave Bernard of Chelmsford, Massachusetts, was on the World Trade Center for a meeting on September the 11th, and he was hit by falling debris when the North Tower was struck by American Airlines Flight 11. Dave Bernard was 57. He leaves behind a wife and 3 children.
Retaliation rages on in the Mideast. 3 Palestinians were killed, dozens were hurt in a violent attack. Palestinian buildings on the West Bank were destroyed by missiles fired from Israeli helicopters. The strikes were near Yasser Arafat's headquarters in Ramallah. No serious injuries were reported. It is Israel's response to Palestinian attacks yesterday, where 10 Israelis were killed. Meanwhile, the U.S. wants Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon to explain why he's cutting off contact with Arafat when there needs to be peace in the Middle East. CBS 2 reporter Michael Aluni is on his way to Israel tonight. We will have live reports from him from the region starting tomorrow.
State officials tonight called the Indian Point nuclear power plant extremely safe, even though the Westchester legislature could decide otherwise tonight. State Public Security Director James Kallstrom announced today the results of his survey. Now, he said security at the atomic facility is, in his words, robust. A possible terrorist assault, Kallstrom said, quote, "Let them try." Well, tonight, county lawmakers may declare that there's no way that people can be safely evacuated from areas around the plant in case of an emergency.
Late this afternoon, the federal government asked the Red Cross be held in contempt of court for repeated violations of blood safety regulations. The Food and Drug Administration is charging that the Red Cross committed serious violations over the past 16 years, despite court-ordered improvements. The Red Cross provides about 45% of the nation's blood supply and says it is making efforts to improve things.
Gunfire on a busy Manhattan street. Coming up, we'll have details of an attempted armored truck holdup in broad daylight.
Retail sales take a hit. How did the markets react today? We'll have the closing numbers.
And there's good news for strap hangers. Officials say that not so fast when it comes to talk of a fare hike. Still ahead.
And our meteorologist David Rogers, get ready for more drizzle, fog, and rain. I'll let you know if it'll last into the weekend. This is your CBS 2 Information Network.
Closed captioning on CBS 2 is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Get the feeling. Toyota.
Hi, sir. Here's your pizza, and I gave the cheesy bread to your kids.
I don't have any kids.
Order Domino's cheesy bread with your pizza tonight. It's a delicious blend of mozzarella and cheddar cheeses. Call now. Get the door. It's Domino's. Call Domino's now and get 2 medium, 2-topping pizzas for only $13.99. That's 2 medium, 2-topping pizzas for just $13.99. Don't forget to add cheesy bread for only $3.99.
Just in case you were wondering, New York will be open for the holidays. And the best way to get to it all? MTA, New York City Transit, Long Island Railroad, Long Island Bus, and Metro North Railroad. One system that gets you where you want to go. And with MetroCard, faster, easier, and less expensive. MTA, going your way.
Right, I know. Cash only.
The all-new A4. Suddenly, every ride's exciting.
It's really quite simple. When you pay less, you can afford more. Yeah.
It's really quite simple. When you pay less, you can afford more.
Yeah. An attempted heist ended in gunfire on a busy Manhattan street today. A man tried to rob an armed cash courier as he came out of a building at 36th Street and 7th Avenue this morning. The courier fired a shot. No one was hit. The would-be robber did not get any cash, but he did get away.
And your money news now. Retail sales take a record plunge. To find out the impact it had on the markets today, we're joined by Alexis Christophers of CBSMarketWatch.com. Alexis.
An ugly day on Wall Street today. Investors were hit with a dismal retail sales report, a new wave of layoffs, and fresh profit warnings. The Dow plunged 128 points, down about 1.5%. The Nasdaq dropped 64 points, or more than 3%. Retail sales took their biggest tumble in 10 years in November as wary consumers became more selective before opening their wallets. Retail sales plunged 3.7% last month after a record gain in October. But discounters like Walmart and Costco still managed to do well. Car dealerships couldn't keep up the momentum, though. Auto sales skidded nearly 12% in November, falling from a record pace in October. Yesterday, it was American Express. Today, Aetna said it plans to lay off 6,000 people as the insurance giant tries to cut costs. So far this year, 1.6 million people have been handed pink slips. Lucid Technologies got slammed today. The stock down 15%. The New Jersey-based telecom giant warned it will lose much more money than expected in the latest quarter. And some after-the-bell news for you. Oracle said profit of 10 cents a share beat already lowered estimates, but Oracle admitted it was the toughest quarter in a decade. And the Fed may have cut interest rates this week for the 11th time this year, but guess what? Mortgage rates are going up. That's because the Fed's cuts were anticipated and already pretty much factored into long-term rates. This week, the average rate on a 30-year mortgage moved up 0.25%, back above 7% to 7.09%.
Okay.
Not too bad. We're still at historic lows, though.
Yeah, well, let's get those retail numbers up in December. What do you think?
Well, let's get out there and shop a little bit. Procrastinators will help out, right? A plan is in place to get New Jersey PATH trains rolling back into Lower Manhattan. Coming up, we have the timetable for their return as the city takes another step toward recovery from September 11th.
And David Rogers will have a look at your weekend weather when we come right back.
This Saturday, it's Macy's Super Saturday. Use your coupons to save even more. 20 to 50% off jewelry, plus an extra 10% off selections. Coats, jackets, sweaters for her, 30 to 50% off. Men's dress shirts and ties, $17.99 to $29.99. Men's sportswear, outerwear, sweaters, 30 to 50% off. Jessica Sanders bed in a bag, any size, $49.99. Macy's Super Saturday. Preview day Friday, 8 a.m.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Oh, the Millers have a new Lexus.
Not the Millers. You.
You'll find special values whether you buy or lease.
It's beautiful.
Well, we got you a new CD player.
The December to Remember sales event. Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise.
I cannot believe this.
See your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Lexus dealer.
More than the greatest love the world has known. This is the love that I give to you alone. I know I never lived before, and my heart is very sure no one else could love you more than...
Hi, this is Dick Clark for Nuvin. Be healthy and energetic. Drink Nuvin.
Coming up on the next Entertainment Tonight, what's wrong with George Harrison's death certificate? We have new information about the mystery surrounding where he died as Entertainment Tonight looks back at the stars we lost this year. Then Will Smith and Muhammad Ali together again.
I'll never be that great.
What the champ says about the actor and rare footage of the prize-fighter boxing. Plus, who's the blonde Tom Cruise is hugging? We'll tell you next DT.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS 2.
Tonight, two big stories involving mass transit in our area.
City subway and bus riders will not have to dig deeper in their pockets.
And welcome news for New Jersey PATH riders. Officials prepared to do their part to restore train service to Lower Manhattan.
CBS 2 reporter Paul Flarages has all the transit details.
It's an early Christmas present that's sure to make strap hangers kiss their Metro cards. Governor Pataki announced today what many hoped would be the case. that the $1.50 fare was safe for now, as are fares on the LIRR and Metro North.
Our goal now is to bring people back to New York, to bring businesses back, to bring employees back, to bring tourists back, and you don't do that by raising fares.
Bus and subway ridership, which dipped after the disruptions and station closings caused by the 9/11 attacks, has slowly inched upwards. Still, that revenue cannot offset huge projected budget deficits or the cost of repairing damaged stations.
As we invest in a 21st century transportation system, we're going to get more riders. And you don't have to raise fares if you get more riders, because that's the best way to get more revenue.
There are a lot of unknowns, but in the here and now for 2002, the good news is that the fare is going to hold, and that's really important for people who are reeling from the attack.
The news is just as good for riders of the PATH who travel into Lower Manhattan. The Port Authority announced plans to rebuild the PATH station not far from Ground Zero at a cost of $545 million.
It will mean an eventual return to normalcy for tens of thousands of commuters whose lives have been severely disrupted by the attacks.
Officials say when complete, the World Trade Center station will relieve congestion at the 9th and Christopher Street stations. Restoring PATH train service here in Lower Manhattan will take at least 2 years. A more permanent option with connections to existing subway lines will take an additional 2 years and several $1 million more. In Lower Manhattan, Paul Floranges, CBS 2.
Thank you, Paul.
Foggy, misty.
All of that stuff.
Ooh, oh, what's going on there tonight, David?
Hey, you know, we always say the weather affects the way you feel, and if you're feeling a little down because of the clouds, hang in there, because it looks like it all should clear out by this weekend. A big number right now at Central Park, 54 degrees for the evening rush hour. A lot of cloud cover out there, and it looks like we're going to have to deal with these clouds at least for another day or so. Westerly winds at about 9, humidity way up there, 96%. And the barometric pressure is currently on the rise. Take a look at the temperatures across the 5 boroughs, and another day, as expected, of above normal temperatures. Canarsie right now at 53. Clifton to the south at 54. Co-op City has a current temperature of 53 degrees. Greenwich right now 51. Some drizzle at Stony Point 51. And Windsor has a current temperature of 54 degrees. 54 was our afternoon high at Central Park, a morning low 45. So far, just a few drops in the rain bucket, about 0.04 of an inch of precipitation. Sunset this afternoon 4:29, rises tomorrow morning 7:12. Take a look at the normal highs and lows. 43 is where we should be. 31 is our normal low. High temperature, record high 64. That was set back in 1932, and the record low 8 set back in 1960. Here's a look at our satellite radar picture up close. Again, very light areas of moisture moving across most of the tri-state area. Drizzle, fog, a lot of cloud cover. That's going to remain the trend, say, for the next 12 to 18 hours. The real juice, the real moisture, all the energy now to the south, moving across parts of the Tennessee Valley. Look at the brighter echoes. That's indicative of some thunderstorms there. That's eventually going to start to lift to the north. So again, get ready for another day tomorrow of cloudy sky. Looks like we'll get off to kind of a showery and drizzly start in the morning with some fog, but as a second load, it's going to be moving along that system, starts to lift to the north. That's where we're looking for some of the steadier rains to move in our neck of the woods. And again, some areas could pick up as much as a ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch of needed rain. For the rest of the night, though, tonight, drizzle, fog. Some of the fog could be dense, so be careful if you're going to be out driving tonight. About 49 in the city. Morristown, about 46 degrees. Kids on the bus stop tomorrow, look for a repeat of what you had out there this morning. Some drizzle, and again, later in the day, probably when you get out of school, that rain's going to be steadier. 44 to 49. Winds generally out of the northeast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's your 5-day forecast. An unsettled day tomorrow. Actually, some of the showers could linger into early Saturday before we start to see skies starting to clear. Most of the day should be dry and improving. 48, your high on Saturday with some winds. Sunday, it looks like the winds start to subside a bit, partly sunny, 49. More rain expected on Monday, 50 degrees. Lingering showers Tuesday. Mix of clouds and sun later in the day with temperatures generally right around 45. That's your forecast for now. Keep in mind, for complete weather information around the clock, you can check out our website at cbsnewyork.com. Ernie, back to you.
All right, we thank you, David. Let's take a look ahead tonight. What's coming up on Nightcast at 11. We're going to have more on today's big story, of course, the Osama bin Laden videotape. And we're also going to have the latest on a developing story in New Jersey, where officials at a high school in North Bergen are taking every precaution after a bomb threat. The school is going to be searched tonight, and we'll have the very latest for you at 11. Hope you'll join us.
Stay here with us at 6 because it's official.
It is. The Yankees get their man. Warner Wolf's got the lowdown of a big Jason Giambi signing coming up next.
Who'd want to live in a place like that?
That would be my home.
Come on! And it's okay. You're going to be fine.
as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm Ernest Martin, leaping towards the end zone. Touchdown! Oh, can you believe it?
The Jets take on the Bengals Sunday at 1 on CBS-2.
I'm looking so fine and I love your design. Save here, save now, Suzuki.
Suzuki's December to Remember sales event is on now with interest-free financing on Suzuki's full line of cars and trucks. Lease a new Suzuki XL7 for just $279 a month, 0 down payment. The world-class XL7 with available third-row seating, only $279 a month, 0 down. Hurry, these special offers end January 2nd. See your nearest Suzuki dealer today.
Save here, save now, Suzuki.
You know where Jared's headed today? He's going for the great taste at Subway, and you know exactly what he's gonna eat. It's turkey and veggies, his daily treat.
Actually, Subway has a lot of other great tasting sandwiches I love too.
Oh, right.
Subway has 7 delicious sandwiches with just 6 grams of fat or less, like our 6-inch roasted chicken breast sandwich. All made on fresh baked gourmet bread and all made fresh right in front of you.
Subway, eat fresh.
Use MSN to get online. Use it to buy cashmere sweater for older sister. Use it to buy pearl earrings for younger sister. And gift exchange with sisters? It's at 7 p.m. Want an internet service you can really use? MSN from Microsoft is the great alternative to AOL. MSN, more useful every day.
You'll find great new gifts for the holidays in every Marshall store. Arriving every day up to 60% off. Forget department store sales. You've seen it all before. Marshall.
They were heroes long before 9/11. Meet the men of Rescue 1, the squad firefighters call when they're in trouble. 48 hours, Friday.
Let's talk about the newest pinstriper. Here's Warner.
All right, Ernie, a full house turned out at Yankee Stadium. The room today, the media room, Jason Giambi introduced to the media after signing a 7-year deal averaging $17 million per year. I asked Giambi about being one of the few players around today who hit both for power and average.
Well, I think a lot of that is learned from Mark McGwire, such a great friend of mine and a mentor that, he always would take the walk and be selective at the plate because he figured that if he wasn't going to get a pitch to hit, he could help his team by taking a walk and pass it on to the next guy. And, with the guys in this lineup that are going to be in this lineup, it'll be pretty devastating. We have a bunch of guys on base all the time. So hopefully I'll just keep my same theory. If I get a chance to swing at a pitch, I'm going to swing. And if not, I'll just keep taking my walks.
Is it a fair assumption that Yankee fans figure with the new stadium for you and 81 games here that you're going to be the first Yankee since Mantle and Maris to hit over 50?
I don't know. I'm not going to get that kind of pressure on myself, but I was trying to, on the new stadium, make about 290 down the right field line. I'm trying to work with the dimensions. So, no, I'm going to have a good time, and I'm not going to change my game. It's worked well so far.
I think you'd have to figure the guy will hit over 50. Yankees also picked up one of the best pinch hitters in the game today. Left-handed hitting John Vanderwall, third in the history of Major League Baseball for pinch hitting home runs with 17. Only 1 behind Jerry Lynch and 3 behind Cliff Robinson. And who says you can't go home? Roger Cedeno traded away by the Mets to the Astros in '99, and the Mike Hampton deal signed again today by the Mets. Last year, Cedeno, who will bat leadoff for the Mets, hit .293 for the Tigers with 55 stolen bases. And the Mets also signed former Yankees setup man David Weathers. Weathers had 4 saves last year and a 2.41 ERA with the Cubs and Brewers. All right, hockey, the Rangers lost more than a hockey game last night. Let's go to the videotape. Second period, look at Eric Lindros, and he's hit by Predator Vladimir Orzak. No penalty, but Lindros suffered a strained knee. He will be gone for a week. The Rangers lost 4-2. And in case you missed it last night, the Rangers acquired enforcer Matthew Barnaby from Tampa. Barnaby's claim to fame, he led the league last year in penalties. That's the kind of guy always filled with holiday spirit. All right. Remember 6 weeks ago, former Cowboy All-Pro offensive tackle Nate Newton was arrested and charged with possession to distribute 213 pounds of marijuana. Believe it or not, Newton was arrested again last night with 175 pounds of marijuana. Well, at least he's cutting down. Let's go to the videotape. Today's second race at Aqueduct. Here they come. Number 4, Nikita inside. Look at number 8, Authentic Caller outside. Nikita inside, Authentic Caller outside. Nikita, an Authentic Caller across the line. Call it.
Authentic Caller.
Very good.
Away.
$20 to win. This is Warner.
By a horse.
That was a good switch, right?
What a laugh. I love your laugh, Warner. How chilly is it going to get tonight?
24-hour forecast, and we can write back on CBS 2 at 6.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Oh, the Millers have a new Lexus.
Not the Millers. You. You'll find special values whether you buy or lease.
It's beautiful.
Well, we got you a new CD player.
The December to Remember sales event. Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise.
I cannot believe this!
See your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Lexus dealer.
Look for the brightest lights in town. That's where the special times are found.
I like it, Red. Now at Blockbuster, when you buy 2 previously viewed DVD or VHS movies, you'll get another one absolutely free. Choose from great titles on sale like Shrek, The Mummy Returns, Hannibal, and more. Buy 2, get 1 free. Only at Blockbuster.
The new Verizon.com is here. Review bills. Pay bills. Live life.
Verizon.
The new Verizon.com is here. Review bills. Pay bills. Keep it simple.
Verizon.
It's official. Ford is extending 0% financing on all cars. Ford drives America. And right now, we're leading the way with America's best sellers and America's best values. 0% on every 2001 and 2002 model car, including Ford Focus, Ford Taurus, Ford Windstar, and the American legend, Ford Mustang. 0% means you pay absolutely no interest, and that will save you thousands. Act now. Ford drives America. Visit your Tri-State quality Ford store.
Everyone has a dream.
The holidays. New Jersey Lottery knows they're a time of joy. A time to give thanks. And a time when you have absolutely no time to shop. So now there's holiday gift packs. 6 instant New Jersey Lottery tickets in a holiday pack with a chance to win up to $20,000. 6 tickets, now just $5. Holiday gift packs wherever New Jersey Lottery tickets are sold. For friends, family, even you.
Happy Hanukkah to your family from all of us at CBS 2.
All right, David Rogers, let's look at things out there tonight.
More of the same for the next 18 hours, 24 hours, and then it looks like the weekend's going to be pretty nice. Let's take a look, though, for the next 24 hours. Drizzle and fog tonight, 52 degrees, so it's going to be a mild one. Then for the morning rush, again, look for more drizzle and fog, 49. Steadier rains start to pick up. By midday, you can see temperatures around 53 degrees. Keep in mind, we need some of that rain. It's going to continue into early Saturday morning before we see the clearing. Keep in mind, for complete weather information around the clock, you can always check out our website at cbsnewyork.com.
Checking it out. Thank you, David.
You bet.
And that does it for CBS 2 at 6. I'm Ernie Anastas. The CBS Evening News with Dan Rathers next.
I'm Dana Tyler. For Warner, David, and all of us here at the CBS 2 Information Network, have a great night.
And we'll see you again at 11 on Nightcast. Hope you can join us.
Caught on tape. Bin Laden celebrates how he plotted mass murder at the World Trade Center.
We calculated in advance the number of casualties from the enemy who would be killed based on the position of the tower.
in-depth coverage and analysis of the smoking gun video. Plus, bin Laden and the U.S. military in a high-stakes game of hide-and-seek. And Israel steps up the retaliation against the Palestinians after cutting all contact with Yasser Arafat.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. It is the most damning evidence made public yet against Osama bin Laden. The U.S. Defense Department today released a videotape in which bin Laden admits he and his terror network planned and carried out the murders of thousands of innocent people in the United States. And he expresses pleasure that the attacks succeeded far beyond his expectations. Bin Laden speaks in Arabic. The Bush administration called in independent experts who spent days translating his words into English. It's mid-November in the former Taliban stronghold of Kandahar, 2 months after the attack on America. Osama bin Laden enters a guest house and greets a Saudi Arabian Muslim sheikh who's come to deliver what is good news for bin Laden. The 9/11 attacks have gotten glowing reviews from religious leaders back home in Saudi Arabia. And then, over food and drink, at times smiling and laughing, Osama bin Laden admits to advanced knowledge of the September 11th attacks and describes where he was at the moment the atrocities began.
We had notification since the previous Thursday that the event would take place that day. We had finished our work that day and had the radio on. It was 5:30 p.m. our time. Immediately, we heard the news that a plane had hit the World Trade Center.
5:30 p.m. in Kandahar, 9 a.m. in New York. The first of the Twin Towers had been hit.
After a little while, they announced that another plane had hit the World Trade Center. The brothers who heard the news were overjoyed by it.
With a chilling nonchalance, bin Laden describes the meticulous planning that went into the mass murder of thousands of innocent people.
We calculated in advance the number of casualties from the enemy who would be killed based on the position of the tower. We calculated that the floors that would be hit would be 3 or 4 floors. I was the most optimistic of them all.
The heir to a construction fortune, bin Laden expresses surprise and delight that the planes were able to bring both towers down to the ground.
Due to my experience in this field, I was thinking that the fire from the gas and the plane would melt the iron structure of the building and collapse the area where the plane hit and all the floors above it only. This is all we had hoped for.
Osama bin Laden on this tape, unequivocally for me, what he is saying in effect is that he too was in for a surprise on September 11.
Noted scholar Fuad Ajami watched the tape with us when it was released.
Absolutely. It's gruesome to say it. I think he expected to kill hundreds of people. He expected some floors of the towers to collapse, but he did not expect the mayhem that happened, because once that mayhem happened, his fate was doomed and his fate was sealed.
Though the video is amateurish, bin Laden's evil comes through with stunning clarity. Coolly and casually, he tells how he sent 19 fellow Muslim hijackers off to their deaths.
All they knew was that they had a martyrdom operation, and we asked each one of them to go to America. But they did not know anything about the operation, not even one letter. But they were trained, and we did not reveal the operation to them until they were there and just before they arrived.
How is this likely to play in general in the Islamic world, and particularly with Arabs?
I think the tape will be seen perhaps with a jaundiced eye in the world of Islam. The audio quality is poor, the visuals are reasonably poor as well. And anyway, that world has many escape hatches and many exits. It could argue that actually this is just an American spin operation, that we've just simply doctored up the evidence and that this doesn't establish anything. I think the audience that matters is the American public, the American people. We're asking them to sanction and understand this war, and we will put out this evidence. They can see the nature of the enemy and the face of the enemy.
The analysis of Professor Fuad Ajami. The bin Laden video was shown today on television around the world and drew skepticism from some viewers in Muslim nations. Some Muslims said the scratchy video provided no evidence of bin Laden's guilt and may have been, as they see it, fabricated. The sound quality is very bad. It's so bad that many native Arab speakers had to rely on the U.S. government subtitles. Safe to say most Americans have long believed bin Laden's guilt, but it was something else today to hear him admit to the horror in his own words and celebrate. We sampled reaction around this country.
It's just hard for me to understand how someone can think that way. And when I see it, it just makes me feel sick all over again.
I think it's very humiliating. I think it proves he had knowledge of what went on during the World Trade Center events. I think that his day is coming, and it can't happen fast enough for me.
Beyond the emotional reaction, what about the legal implications of the bin Laden video and the admissions he makes on it? How does all this play into the criminal investigation? CBS's Jim Stewart has some answers for you tonight.
In the unlikely event that Osama bin Laden lives to stand trial for September the 11th, this is the one comment he may most regret making on that home videotape. We had notification since the previous Thursday, he said, that the event would take place that day. In other words, bin Laden is saying he knew beforehand on September the 6th what would happen on September the 11th. In legal terms, that is known as foreknowledge. And in front of a military tribunal, it just might be enough to get you shot. John Martin was a veteran federal prosecutor. Dan, apparently we've lost our tape. I can tell you, though, that the legal implications of what he has to say are extraordinary. Most prosecutors are calling this a smoking gun. They say that if, in fact, this is true, that it could be used against not only Osama bin Laden, but some of his lieutenants. And given the current military situation, it might be the last statement the world, in fact, ever hears from Osama bin Laden. And if that is the case, then prosecutors most certainly are especially gratified that the terrorist leader used it to condemn himself with his own words. Dan.
Jim Stewart reporting live from Washington. The only person indicted so far in the attack on America was in federal court here in New York City today. The judge denied bail for Zacarias Moussaoui and ordered him sent to Alexandria, Virginia to stand trial. Moussaoui is accused of conspiring with Osama bin Laden in the September 11th attacks. Now to the war bin Laden started, and the United States is determined to follow through and finish. In southern Afghanistan near Kandahar, U.S. Marines are on the move, hunting the Taliban leader, Mullah Muhammad Omar. As for bin Laden, U.S. officials acknowledge that they cannot be sure, but they still believe he is in a Tora Bora cave area of a mountain valley, being repaid in kind for the September 11th attacks. CBS's David Martin begins tonight's coverage of the war.
Bombs light up the night, and the sound of what are probably American helicopters fills the air as U.S. aircraft and commandos close in on the cave complex where U.S. intelligence believes bin Laden and his al-Qaeda fighters are battling for their lives.
If they surrender, they may come out alive. If they don't surrender, they may not. And it's kind of their choice.
It is the Battle of Tora Bora. U.S. officials say their best evidence is that bin Laden is in the Agam Valley, holed up in caves along the walls of the valley, which leads south into Pakistan. Opposition fighters, along with U.S. Special Operations Forces, including the elite Delta counter-terrorist team, are pushing down the valley while the Pakistani army blocks the southern end. U.S. warplanes are attacking the caves, trying to drive al-Qaeda down from the heights to the valley floor. Unmanned Predator reconnaissance drones are orbiting overhead, searching for signs of movement, and AC-130 gunships are patrolling the border to cut off any avenues of escape. Technology favors the U.S., but the terrain favors bin Laden, since the advancing troops have to expose themselves to fire from above. And there's always the danger bin Laden could slip through the dragnet.
There's no doubt in my mind, but any number of al-Qaeda have gone across various borders and do intend to fight another day, and we intend to find them.
Last week, Mullah Omar was thought to be surrounded in his stronghold at Kandahar. The city has now fallen. U.S. Special Forces troops are riding through the streets, and Marines are taking over the airport. But Omar is still at large.
Omar is missing. Where is Omar? We're looking for him and his senior people as well.
The U.S. believes Omar is hiding out in the mountains northwest of Kandahar and is offering a $10 million reward for turning him in. Dan?
David Martin reporting live from the Pentagon. In the Middle East tonight, U.S. envoy, former Marine General Anthony Zinni, is still trying to coax Israel and the Palestinians back from the brink of war. But it may be an impossible task Since Zinni arrived almost 3 weeks ago, attacks and retaliations have killed nearly 100 Palestinians and Israelis. And now, as CBS's David Hawkins reports, Israel says it has had enough.
From now on, Israel will let its tanks and warplanes do the talking. The Israeli government has broken off all contact with the Palestinian Authority and its leader, Yasser Arafat.
For Israelis to imagine that somehow Yasser Arafat will change, will somehow be reformed, and take responsibilities and fulfill agreements that he hasn't done in the past is very difficult at this point.
It's the end of the peace process, at least for the time being, if not an outright declaration of war. Israeli forces today reoccupied parts of the Palestinian territories, attacked police stations and other targets in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. They knocked over the radio transmission tower of the Voice of Palestine and took over the house of one of Arafat's top lieutenants, saying they won't leave until he's arrested or turns himself in. Israeli tanks have advanced to positions on a ridge just a couple hundred yards away from Yasser Arafat's West Bank headquarters. He's not under siege exactly. Israel says they are not trying to kill him, but he is trapped, both physically and politically.
These steps are making Arafat's ability to carry out what the Israelis are asking to do, which is to crack down on the Islamists, almost an impossible task.
If Arafat continues arresting Palestinian militants, he faces a revolt from below. If he doesn't, he faces even more bombs from above. Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon appears set on getting rid of his longtime enemy and says he'll only resume peace talks when Arafat is replaced by a more pragmatic Palestinian leader. The problem is there probably isn't one.
No, I don't think that there is any other powerful, pragmatic Palestinian leader apart from Yasser Arafat.
It's always been a case of the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. But now Israel's decided to take its chances. David Hawkins, CBS News, Ramallah.
After many signals that he intended to pull out of the 1972 anti-ballistic missile treaty with Moscow, President Bush made it official today. The United States will withdraw from the treaty in 6 months, clearing the way for missile defense testing banned by the treaty. Russia's President Vladimir Putin called the Bush decision a mistake. Coming up next here on the CBS Evening News, bad blood. The government says the Red Cross isn't protecting America's blood supply. And later, Eye on America, fallout from September 11th, far from the hell of Ground Zero.
Moo. The holidays are a great time to call 1-800-GATEWAY, because now for just $9.99 after a $100 mail-in rebate, you can get the lightweight Solo 1200 notebook, or you can get the 500S desktop. It's got an Intel Pentium 4 processor and a CD burner. Order by December 21st, and we guarantee it'll get there by Christmas. So call 1-800-GATEWAY or stop by your local Gateway store today. Hurry, offer ends soon.
CBS Amazing Thursday. First, the survivors are getting sworn to get a break, including treats.
Yummy.
And a surprise movie. They'll have to win the biggest challenge yet. All new Survivor. Then, who will win the amazing race? One night, one winner, $1 million. Don't miss the Amazing Race finale. And how do you solve a murder? We need the body. When the only proof left is in the victim's donated organs.
This is my kitty now.
The CSI you can't miss at a special time tonight on Amazing Thursday.
If your pencils look like mine did, there's something you can do. Ask your doctor if the Nicotrol inhaler is right for you. Or for more information, call 1-800-INHALER. Call today.
Winter air makes it worse. So can blow drying. That's scalp stress itch. And Scalpicin stops it. Clean, unscented, medicated to stop scalp stress itch.
Every time.
Scalpicin stops scalp stress itch.
Hey, guys.
Driveway's almost done.
Great.
But I'm as hungry as a polar bear.
Clam chowder?
Wow, dense soup.
Mm-hmm.
That was fine when we wore snowsuits. We're adults now. There's a better tasting soup. Progresso New England clam chowder has more chunks of clams and potatoes, and it's creamier. See the difference?
This is better.
It's still snowing out.
I'm done.
Let's go. Let's make snow angels.
Yeah.
Now with 50% more clams in every bowl.
In 1935, Boxwood Farms started with one horse and a truck. The horse was a thoroughbred, the truck a Chevy Suburban. Today, they have a few more horses, but there's still only one truck, Chevy Suburban. With an available 8.1-liter Vortec engine, it's capable of towing up to 6 tons, making it the best Suburban yet. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
Tom was on the 96th floor of Tower 2 and saw the first plane heading toward Tower 1.
What did you see from that point on? A very large plane almost in your face.
Tomorrow, his incredible eyewitness account, his heroism, and the way he's planning to fight back. Eye on America on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Federal regulators today asked a judge to hold the American Red Cross in contempt of court for allegedly, this is the accusation, risking the safety of America's blood supply. The accusations are not new. As CBS's Cheryl Atkinson reports, the Food and Drug Administration says the Red Cross has been failing its responsibilities for far too long.
The FDA is accusing the American Red Cross of a dangerously cavalier attitude as guardian of the nation's blood supply. An FDA inspection last spring of the Red Cross facility in Salt Lake City revealed hundreds of errors that let through unqualified donors, like those at high risk for having HIV or AIDS. And there have been 16 years of similar violations around the country, which continued even after the Red Cross agreed to clean up its act in 1993. Now the FDA wants the Red Cross to be held in contempt of court, citing release of blood possibly contaminated by cytomegalovirus, which could cause illness or even death, allowing some people with syphilis to donate, and poor record keeping that could make it impossible to trace and recall bad blood.
The failures by the Red Cross over the last 16 years to take effective and timely action to correct their deficiencies in quality assurance do pose an unnecessary threat.
The Red Cross argues the FDA is overstepping its authority, that the blood supply has never been safer, and that it's gone a long way toward meeting FDA requirements. The FDA says the main goal of its court action is to get the Red Cross to stop tolerating what the government calls a lack of concern for the public, affecting the safety of the blood supply. Cheryl Atkinson, CBS News, Washington.
If there's plenty of high-fat food on your dinner plate tonight, you may want to consider this. The Surgeon General says obesity could soon surpass cigarettes as the #1 cause of preventable death in this country. Dr. David Satcher says 61% of adults and 13% of children are overweight or obese. He is calling for, among other things, mandatory physical education for all students. Coming up next here on CBS Eye on America, it may look like paradise, but it took some heavy damage September 11th.
The CBS Evening News and tonight's Eye on America segment are sponsored by FiberCon. Why drink powdered fiber for regularity? FiberCon tablets are easier and work just as well. Try FiberCon.
Tired of struggling down glass after glass of powdered fiber for regularity? Consider refreshing glasses of water with FiberCon tablets. A whole lot easier to take.
And every bit as effective as powder.
FiberCon, refreshingly easier to take.
Now, the same caltrate that helps fight bone loss may help your colon, too. In a recent study, caltrate helped reduce the risk of recurrence of colon polyps, a risk factor for colon cancer. The same caltrate you take for your bones, now for colon health, too.
Wish your wife would wrap up the shopping. And you just wish you were out of here. Guys, I think I can help you out. At $8.99, a Dimension desktop with an Intel Pentium 4 processor is the perfect gift for anyone. Call or go online today and get a free CD burner or an all-in-one print center. Dude, I'm getting a Dell. Honey? Holiday values made easy. Easy as Dell.
We make products that work in your home. We wait until we've got a product that's better than what's out there, that the consumer can see the difference in. Then we'll go to market. It's a duty to our heritage, and it's a duty to our consumer. I'm certain that what we are doing now not only will go into the next generation, but the generation after that.
S.C. Johnson, a family company.
That snowball is a great way to tell customers Staples has technology gifts.
Greetings. Palm handhelds make terrific gifts. So do digital cameras.
Nice price.
Excuse me, could you tell me about the scanner fax copier?
No.
But I want to get it for my brother.
Get him a cell phone.
No, he really wants one of these.
He can't have her. I love her.
What?
No, no, no. Weeping, weeping.
It's okay. We found you someone else.
Oh.
Get more for less at Staples.
All power toothbrushes are not created equal. Sonicare. It has patented sonic technology and combines high-speed bristle motion with dynamic cleaning action. So effective, Sonicare removes 80% of stains, getting your teeth whiter and healthier in 28 days, guaranteed. See for yourself, or ask your dentist about Sonicare.
On the CBS Market Watch, Aetna, the health insurance company, is cutting 6,000 jobs. Aetna's been pulling out of unprofitable markets, so it says it needs fewer employees. News of job cuts helped send stocks lower today. The Dow lost 128 points, the Nasdaq almost 65. Wall Street was also spooked by a report indicating a sharp drop in retail sales in November, the start of the holiday shopping season. The U.S. economy in general, the New York City economy in particular, took a big hit from the September 11th attack in the heart of the financial district. But it may surprise you to know the attack is also taking an enormous toll in a state thousands of miles and an ocean away from ground zero. CBS's John Blackstone reports tonight's Eye on America.
In Hawaii, not even love can conquer the devastating impact of the drop in travel.
In a normal schedule, if I work a full day, I would do 10 weddings. And now, say today, I'm doing 4, and I'm very fortunate to do those 4.
Jim Heumann is a minister who makes his living performing weddings for Japanese tourists. It's a big business. Some 35,000 Japanese get married in Hawaii every year.
They would just like to get married in a very romantic setting.
And you certainly provide that.
Yes. Well, we don't, but the nature does.
Fear of terrorism, however, has made many couples change their minds. And those who do come bring fewer guests.
Due to September 11th, close to 50% of our wedding reservations.
Down, canceled.
Canceled. All of us have had friends laid off that work in these chapels, and we're struggling.
Under the palm trees, the suffering isn't always obvious, says economist Leroy Laney.
You may go down there and walk around and see bodies and see people on the beach and that kind of thing. If you talk to anyone down there, I think they'll tell you that it's pretty grim.
Since September 11th, Hawaii has had the nation's second largest jump in unemployment. Layoffs of hotel and tourism workers have risen by more than 1,000%. Cuts have been so deep, some workers fear employers are using the attacks as an excuse to reduce payrolls permanently.
You can smell the bull. It's kind of, oh, don't worry, you'll come back to work, but it's a kind of sort of not really syndrome.
Hotels say that tourists have to come back first. With tourism from Asia down 60%, Hawaii's governor has made emergency trips to China and Japan, urging people there to travel again.
When there's trouble in paradise, it's not long before everyone feels the impact. In one way or another, almost all economic activity in Hawaii trickles down from tourism.
At the Honolulu fish auction, the downturn is reflected in plummeting prices.
We're looking maybe about 35 to 40%. That much is no longer a part of our reality.
Though Hawaii is about as far as you can get from ground zero and still be in America, the shockwaves from September 11th continue to reverberate, even here. In Honolulu, this is John Blackstone for Eye on America.
A continent apart today, 2 American warriors were mourned. Services were held in Bakersfield, California, for U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Cody Prosser, one of 3 U.S. Army Special Forces Green Berets killed last week near Kandahar, Afghanistan. And a funeral was held in Cheshire, Massachusetts for another of the 3, Sergeant First Class Daniel Petitore. Both men will be buried at Arlington National Cemetery.
Look for the brightest lights in town. That's where the special times are found.
I like it, Red. Now Blockbuster has more DVDs to rent than ever, like Jurassic Park 3.
They set a trap. They actually set a trap.
Rent it this week on DVD or VHS at Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home.
Americans are asking what is expected of us.
What is expected of us?
What is expected of us?
We ask you to live your lives.
Do your business.
Do your business around the country.
Fly and enjoy
America's great destination.
Take your family. Take your family.
Enjoy life.
The way we want it to be enjoyed. Greatness is found.
Greatness is found
when American character.
And American courage. American courage.
Can overcome American challenges.
And we will.
And we will.
Holiday dishes hanging to sleeve, but only one is hot and flaky, made with ease. First on the table, they're going fast. Grab one quick, they're gone in a flash. My heart to yours.
I have asthma. I also have 2 brothers and a dog, Max, and friends I hang out with. I don't want to miss out because of my asthma.
Singulair can help you control your child's asthma. Singulair is different from many daily inhaled controllers. It's not a steroid, and it's a once-a-day cherry chewable tablet that can help control your child's asthma for a full 24 hours. Singulair is available for children 2 years and older, and also for adults. Singulair should not be used to treat acute asthma attacks. Your child should continue taking their other asthma medicines unless their doctor tells you to stop or change the dose. If symptoms get worse, contact your child's doctor at once. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, flu, runny nose, and ear infection. For more information about Singulair, ask your child's doctor. And ask about adding once-a-day Singulair. Singulair, asthma control that can help you both breathe easier.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
It's the Amazing Race finale as we give the big winners their $1 million check. Wake up to what's happening tomorrow morning on The Early Show, the fastest-growing national morning news program.
So Americans today finally hear Osama bin Laden on videotape admitting, celebrating his act of murder. And on this day, remains of another of his victims are recovered. Ground Zero, New York City, 93 days now after the attack on the World Trade Center. Recovery workers risking their lives day after day, night after night, stand in silent tribute. And this is why America's sons and daughters in uniform risk their lives day after day, night after night, in the hunt for bin Laden. Part of our world tonight. Dan Rather reporting for the CBS Evening News. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
A World Trade Center hero, Eye on America, has his story tomorrow. Experience CBS News.
Weakest Link is coming 5 days a week starting January 7th